I just feel almost like I'm preparing for something, but I'm not sure what exactly. Um, Good morning. Excuse my hair. I just jumped out of the shower. And I don't like to brush it before it's dried a bit. So yeah. Anyway, I'm in lockdown 3, I think. Who knows? I'm in the Waikato, and yeah, we're in level 3, so it's a little bit boring, and that's why I haven't been making videos. It's like, what am I going to make videos about right now? The nice thing is, I was just thinking, it's so peaceful. It's so very, very peaceful. Normally Labour weekend I'd be hopping. Well, actually no, normally Labour weekend I would have hoped to have been in Woodville at the vintage gathering, but yeah, that didn't work out, so I'm not there. I'm back where I park up. Things are changing quite radically around me. This place is for sale, so I've been looking for somewhere else to use as a base, and have got a couple of options there. One in particular I like, because I like the people who've offered it to me. I know that they're people who aren't gonna, play games or be stupid or anything like that. They're just good people. So yeah, that one's appealing, but I'll reveal more if that eventuates. And yeah, my COFs keep getting cancelled. My last appointment got cancelled because Hobbs don't do COFs in level 3, only for essential vehicles, which is a little bit odd because it says online that they can actually do it, but obviously they're choosing not to. And I've got one this Wednesday, which will still be in level 3, so no doubt. So right now I'm just making myself some breakfast, a smoothie. I love this stuff. It's from outfit in T-Rail, and it's a plant-based protein. This one is vanilla flavoured, I think. And yeah, it's called Nothing Naughty, and it comes in these cool big jars too, which is cool. So I like to chuck a scoop of that in my smoothie, because it essentially stops me from getting hungry again in half an hour or an hour, whatever, which is what I find smoothies tend to do. Oh, done. That one is just a real simple basic one. It's banana, I think boysenberry, yep, boysenberry, and some of that protein. So I get people say to me, oh my god, that's such a huge smoothie. Yeah, no, it's about, I don't know how many calories it would be. I'll have to have a look on Chronometer sometime, but it's not a lot, because 2 bananas and some berries aren't actually that much for breakfast, and that'll keep me going till lunchtime. I like it because I tend to drink too much coffee, and this tends to hydrate me quite nicely, and I don't like having a big heavy breakfast. Sometimes when it's cold I have oats. They're nice. Yeah, so I've been also taking this intestinal cleanse. I like doing that now and then. It's good for any sort of, yeah, it's just a good detox, and having wormwood and stuff like that and black walnut in it. It also kills parasites. So, anyway, and my new toothbrush arrived. It's not as good as my old one, but my old one was held together with kneaded. It broke here. But yeah, this one I noticed the whole handle vibrates just as much as the brush head, which is a bit weird. The old one didn't do that, but it'll do. It's off Trade Me. It was about $20, I think, and it's a USB rechargeable, which is why I like it. My last one, I'd charge it and it would stay charged for about 5 to 6 weeks. Don't know yet with this one. But yeah, it'll do the job. Right, I'm going to have my smoothie. Have a sort out up in here because it's a bit of a shambles, and there's a big cupboard up above here, and I need to get in there and give that a friggin' good sort out. So yes, that's what I shall be doing. I'm just trying to stay a little bit out of, oops, oh god, eek, out of this wind. Microphones and wind aren't that great. But yeah, I've just had a big sort out in the loft. I got a whole rubbish sack full of clothes that I'm going to give to the op shop next trip, where I'm able to do that. It's in the cab. They're just things I either don't wear or don't fit or whatever. They got to go. I don't know why. I just feel almost like I'm preparing for something, but I'm not sure what exactly. Yeah, so I'm just pottering around doing jobs like that. Just been for a lovely walk here. It's a bit windy, so I couldn't talk while I film, but yeah, it would be sad to say goodbye to this place when it sells. I've enjoyed it being a home, and oh, here comes the cat. She's going, why is there a camera on my table? Here she comes. Come on, Bibby, come here. You're in the way. Come on. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Good girl. Oh, you're a good girl. Yeah. What you been doing? Eating, by the looks of it, by all the lip licking that's going on. Yeah, so it will be sad. It's been home for a couple of years or so now, and it's been lovely here. And we've had a really awesome community of people that I've really enjoyed. Yeah, so, but people have to do what they have to do, and the landowner, I don't know, maybe he doesn't want to look after it anymore. I don't know. It's worth a lot of money. I know that, and yeah, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I do have a couple of other options, but you know, just walking around and going, oh yeah, I won't be able to come back here anymore. Yeah, I don't know, bittersweet I guess, but I also feel positively that I've sort of gotten myself a bit bogged down with just sitting and working and sitting and working and sitting and working, and maybe it's time to do something different. when I'm allowed to move. On Tuesday I'm going to ring up Hobbs, see what they want to do about my COF, because I'm in the same zone as them. I'm in the same level 3 area virtually, so you know, maybe I can talk them into it. It'd be quite nice to get it over and done with. Otherwise, I'll make some other plans, see what's coming up. I've also had to do a lot of thinking about my business, my work, how I'm going to manage that in the future because of what's coming up. I mostly work online and over the phone now anyway, and really only do the odd in person. So I think I'm just going to put that on my website, because I don't want to end up in a position where I have to check people's passports. I don't want to do that. I have no interest in doing that. To me, everybody's got the right to do whatever they want to, and I don't want to get caught up in having to check that. And because people like hairdressers and that are going to have to, it's going to be compulsory, or they're going to be severely restricted. you know, what I do, sitting close with people doing readings, is kind of in that same sort of niche, I guess, as far as contact goes. So, and I don't want to have to go, oh, show me your passport, and do QR codes and all of that sort of junk. Nah, I'll just keep working online and via the phone, I think. And look at this little monkey. What are you doing, Miss Feeny? I wish she'd put on a little bit of weight, like her bum and her spine, you can still feel them. She eats well and she's busy and she's happy. But the weight gain thing, don't know. I keep telling her we need to help each other out there, because I've put on weight and she's lost weight, so yeah, we need to balance out there. Yeah, so this is where I'm sitting. Apparently there's a truck coming and it's going to dump all dirt in there to sort that out a bit for when it gets wet. But I guess that won't happen in level 3, I'm not sure. I don't know what happens and doesn't happen. I go to town once a week, do my groceries, do my laundry, and that's it. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's lovely. All the bushes growing, the trees have got leaves. Got a few long-termers in here. Yeah. All doing the locky down thing together. It's very peaceful though, and you know why it's so peaceful? They've got a big safety tape tied across the boat ramp at the domain. People are not allowed to go power boating, apparently, so the lake is actually really lovely. I really enjoy it when it's not full of screaming jet skis and stuff. So yeah. But see over there, that road, which is the road that goes to Little Waipa Reserve. Hang on, I'll get out of the wind a bit. Right across the lake there, it goes down to Little Waipa. I think it's called Hora Hora Road actually. And that road is level 2. That's in South Waikato. This side of the lake is in Waipa district and it's in level 3. Chopping up a heap of vegetables because I want to make a bean stew. I do pressure cook things quite a lot. I've got both a stovetop one and an electric one. I just find them convenient. If you know how to use them and not to overcook things in them, they are friggin' handy because you can just set and forget. But a lot of people overcook everything in them. Like, you know, if this had raw beans in it, it would have to cook for quite a while. And all the vegetables would just turn to mush. So I'm using a can of beans that are already cooked, so I don't have to cook the whole lot. But basically what I like is I can just bunch the whole lot together, chuck it all in a pot, and set and forget. And eating quite a bit of garlic, well, I just think it's a good idea. It's good for your immunity and it keeps bugs at bay. It also clears phlegm and congestion, which with what's going on in the world is probably not a bad thing to do. I'm also going to show you what sort of supplements I'm taking because I've had a couple of questions about that, and yeah, I thought I would show you. Okay, so those are the supplements I've got on hand, or I'm taking some of them anyway, but yeah, they're the main key ones I think are a good idea. Quercetin is brilliant. It really slows down big reactions and inflammation. I started taking it because of hay fever originally, because it was the only thing that worked. And so yeah, I have that on hand anyway, so that's something. That one's got bromelain in it too, which is pineapple extract, which is also good. It also clears phlegm. and is really good for coughs and colds. Zinc, I don't know if that can focus on that or not, but that's zinc anyway. It's good for immunity and things like that. I take that one now and then anyway. I don't take it every day. NAC, it helps in the formation of glutathione, which is important too. And it helps with liver detoxification and also immunity and lack of inflammation. One of the things that I've noticed from the people who've had the virus is that, they have what's called a cytokine storm, which is huge inflammation. Your whole system is going mental fighting this thing. And that actually causes a lot of problems. So some of these things aren't exactly immune boosters as such, but they're more equalizers of the immune system. They help it to stay on an even keel so that people don't get as sick. So that one I don't take all the time. That's one I just have stashed away in case of a virus or something like that. It's not one I have all the time at the moment. I just thought it was a good idea because fact remains that there's a nasty bug around. This is something I take in winter, not in summer. This is actually quite empty. I need to get some more to have on hand. Vitamin D3 is really important for your immune system. It's hugely important. I like that one because it's got K2 in it, vitamin K2 with the vitamin D3, and actually taking them together is quite important. That's why I buy that one, because it stops your vitamin D from taking the calcium out of your bones. So the K2 keeps the calcium in your bones, let's put it that way, rather than having it floating around in your blood or in your kidneys, all places you don't really want your calcium. So together that works really well. So if you're going to take that, I highly suggest you take a combination. That one's an easy one to get, so I quite like it. This is one I'm a huge fan of. It's not one widely these ones are ones everybody's talking about for what's going on at the moment. The thing with the name, that's not allowed to be named on social media or you get into trouble. But these are my own personal favourite. Black seed, those are capsules. I prefer the oil. I've got some oil as well in a little bottle. But the oil I think is better. It's stronger. But black seed oil, it's a very old, ancient herb. It's called Nigella sativa. And, they've used it in Eastern countries a lot. It's been used for years and years and years to fight everything but death, so they say. And I'm a huge fan of it. I've had situations where I felt like I've got a cold coming on. You get a bit of a cluggy nose or itchy throat or something like that. And I'll either take a teaspoon if I've got the oil or a couple of those caps, go to bed, and next morning I'm fine. It's pretty potent stuff. You don't want to take that all the time because it'll also annihilate your gut microbiome if you're taking it all the time, So I just, keep it on hand for things like that. The only time it didn't work for me was when I had that food poisoning. But I guess, it has its limitations like everything. But those are my 5 favourite supplements for what's going on at the moment. Those are the things that I like to have on hand, some of which I take normally, like the quercetin and vitamin D, because of where I've come from health-wise, supplements and herbs and natural healing and healing with food have all been a huge part of my journey. My own journey of healing and why I do things like this has been, when I was 32, I got diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. I basically had a virus that was insanely, crazily heavy duty. I was so sick. And I just didn't get better. I still had fevers and aches and things 6 months afterwards. So I got diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. From what I understand, it's a blanket label for we don't really know what's going on. But I was pretty unwell for quite a number of years. which was pretty hard going. It was a hard journey, and the medical system really doesn't know what to do for you with things like that. They're like, oh, yeah, you can have some antidepressants, which like, no, I feel like crap, but I'm not depressed, so let's not do that. So I had to research and start to discover myself what to do, how to feel better, because the concept of feeling like that for the rest of my life was just not good. And they were telling me it was incurable. So it was like, oh my God. So I started researching and doing natural things. I cleaned up my diet. I started eating healthier. Started eating very clean, lots of vegetables. I still ate meat then. And yeah, started doing herbal things like ashwagandha is a beautiful, beautiful herb if you've got adrenal fatigue and things like that. It's a really good energizer. I love it. But I started really studying it, and for years, my mother's a herbalist, so I had a little bit of background knowledge from that anyway. But basically, my whole journey of recovery was my own doing, okay? The medical system didn't do anything for me. Really, at all. I went to an acupuncturist, Daniel, who was awesome. He was wonderful, and that helped a lot with my back pain I had at the time. I was in a lot of pain. But basically, I was just really, really exhausted. I'd go to the supermarket. I had my little bus then. And when I came back, I had to sleep for 2.5, 3 hours. That's how tired I was. And that's how I functioned for a number of years. It also financially took a huge toll on me. Like, I'd sold my property, but basically if you want to live a healthy lifestyle and get yourself well, you need to spend a bit of money. You need to buy good food. You need to buy supplements. I had to try different therapies and things that, could get me well again. I tried all sorts of different weird and wonderful things. A lot of it didn't work. There's a few things that did. But yes, I went through quite a bit of money because I couldn't work. I couldn't hold down a job, not if I needed a nap after every couple of hours. It wasn't a happening thing. And very slowly, bit by bit, through taking large quantities of magnesium for the aches and pains and slowly building myself up again, I slowly got a bit better and started doing some markets and earning a little bit. I was just selling some crystals, and then I worked at a healing centre for a while with people. I was more focused on the healing side of things then, and did that. And yeah, I also developed psoriasis on my feet, which I thought was a fungus, and I tried to kill it for ages because I was using public showers and stuff. So I thought, oh, I've got a really bad fungus on my feet. No, I went to a skin specialist in the end. And, that's what I like doctors for, is diagnosis and emergency stuff. If you need your appendix out, yeah. If you break your arm, yeah. If you need diagnostic tests, absolutely. Love doctors for that stuff. But for real deep down healing, I find quite often it's not the right right way for me to go with them. So yeah, they gave me some cream for it, which worked for about a week, and then it got worse. It was steroid cream, and it's known to do that. So I had that for a couple of years, and learnt more and more and more and more, and met a guy actually who travelled with the fair. I'd come up north to start doing the fairs by then. I had this truck by then, and he took me into doing a detox, and I started doing that. I had a really strong heavy duty detox I did, and took things like colloidal silver to get rid of any bugs and nasties in me. And on the actual sore bits on my feet, I just used rosehip oil because vitamin C is really good for psoriasis. So I thought rosehip oil might be good. It was the only thing I applied to it. Within about 2 months it was gone, and that was nearly 20 years ago now. So probably 18 years ago, yeah. And it hasn't come back. So, I've had to fuddle my way through and learn things and study. I've done a lot of research on this stuff, on herbal remedies, on natural ways of healing things. Then this is going to sound like a big saga, but I was down south with the Gypsy Fair and got this terrible stomach bug. I don't know what it was, but and then I took some antibiotics, which probably wasn't a good thing either. And it went away, but I just couldn't eat a lot of things. I just had chronic stomach pain. I went to the doctor when I got back up north. I had a doctor in Taupo at that point. And yeah, I had some tests just to make sure I didn't have any bugs or anything, and that was clear. And they offered me antidepressants again for my stomach ache. Nice, that. And I said, no thanks. No, my stomach hurts. No, I'm not, I'll figure it out. Okay, thank you, bye. So I left and yeah, figured out my diet. And the biggest change for me personally was learning that I can't eat yeast. Yeast really messes up my stomach still now. If I eat a little bit something I can eat a piece of bread or something, that's okay, but not every day. And yeah, I ended up giving up meat because I found it really, really hard to digest meat. I tried digestive enzymes, all sorts of crap, didn't work. So in the end, I gave up meat and I went raw vegan, almost raw for a while, a few months, which actually did a huge amount of healing for my digestion, actually. It was so much better after that. It was telling me my beans are cooked. Okay, so yeah, so I gave up meat, and then after being raw vegan for a while, it was just ridiculously expensive, and I actually only have a small fridge, and I just couldn't store enough food to do it. And also I was still doing fairs, and I was just getting incredibly hungry a lot because it doesn't sustain you very long, and it just didn't turn out to be practical. So I just carried on with eating quite a lot of raw food, but having, a cooked meal at night. And just lately I've been pushing up the protein a bit more with beans and lentils and things like that. And yeah, that seems to be working. But really my healing journey, it was my journey, and it was due to changes and research and learning and studying and figuring it out. And it was a long journey. It wasn't something that happened quickly. It happened quite suddenly, and I think it all started because of stress. I was in a tremendously stressful place when I got that initial flu. I'd just moved into my bus. I'd sold my little house in the Sounds. My ex was suing me. The other one was having a go at me weekly. He was the father of my children. There were a lot of abusive phone calls and crap, and I just kind of wiped out. I was just running on pure adrenaline for months, just constantly stressed and freaked out, and my system just wiped out. And yeah, it took quite a bit to build back up from that. But that's why I got into researching natural, herbal, healthy things. And these things that I just showed you, I mean, they are due to some of the stuff I know anyway, and some of it was just researching what are the best things to have on hand should you get sick, because I live on my own. So, yeah, it's nice to have a few backup things like that. It's my first aid kit, let's put it that way. I've got a proper one as well, but yeah, for me it is. So I wanted to share that because I've had a few people message me and go, what are you doing? What are you taking? Because quite frankly, people from what I've seen overseas in different countries, in Israel and the UK, people with or without the shots are still getting it and still getting sick. And yeah, so I prefer to do natural things rather than end up getting hammered with a whole lot of drugs that do God knows what. That's my personal preference. Yeah. Yeah, so I like to do natural, healthy things anyway. It's something I have used pharmaceuticals at times. Sometimes you have to. I've taken antibiotics at times, especially in Asia. There's some bugs there that my system just couldn't cope with. I've taken like Imodium, things like that. Yeah, it's sometimes you have to, you know. Sometimes you have to go with the mainstream. And to me, neither is bad or good, but my perception is that, you know, the mainstream's good for emergencies, but natural health is good for building up your health, your body, your system, strengthening yourself and making yourself, be stronger in this world. I mean, this world has got, I wanted to share that with you. Let me know if there's anything you're doing to be prepared. Another thing I've done to be prepared is, you know, have a bit of stock. I haven't gone full on prepping, but I do have a bit of stock. I have a couple of bigger packets of rice and beans and dried beans and stuff like that in the cupboard. So no matter what happens in this weird and wonderful world at the moment, I can survive for a bit, you know. And that's quite good too. So yeah. And since my cat's proven herself to be such a champion hunter, she can survive too, which is a bonus. So yeah. But anyway, I hope wherever you are, you're feeling good and strong and healthy and fit and wonderful. And yeah, I'll see you all next time.